there's two people per school per year 12. So if you stay on the sixth form, then a select amount of schools from all around the country get 2 places. And then after we come back, we get to say what we learned over.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
We think it's important that everyone has some knowledge though, which is why we're doing presentations like this.
Yeah, well, thank you anyway. Thank you.
Is there any other questions?
Well, our Holocaust deniers, aren't there?
Yeah.
It seems extraordinary that they should deny the existence of the film again.
That's the thing, I mean, you've only got to walk around the camps and you can feel the presence, and it's so shocking. I mean, they had pyjamas. When we were in about 20 layers and we were cold, so you can imagine how cold they were with wafers in pyjamas.
We didn't even go in winter, did we?
No.
We went in March.
And it snowed.
May, and it was just snowing.
Yeah.
It was so cold.
It was ridiculously cold.
I mean, Auschwitz and Birkenau weren't the only extermination camps in the 20th century. I mean, Mao Zedong in China, he killed off about 80 million people in one way or another. And now they're doing it in Syria. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's very good for you to do this thing, and it's good for us to see it. But somehow there is something in man that does prompt him to they become inhuman and are capable of anything, really.
That's the big thing, that people are becoming dehumanised. It's amazing how, if you're put in that situation, how your body can just switch off from everything. And I mean, Vicky said it, didn't he? He was willing people around him to die just so he could sit down. You know what I mean? It gets that much into your head because of your surroundings. And it's the idea of conscience as well. When you're little, you get told, no, this is wrong, this is right, good choices and bad. But when these are corrupted and things change, then they grow up believing that they're right. So, yeah. But Hitler had a normal upbringing. He had a mum and a dad, and he wanted to be an artist. He applied. He went to school, didn't he? But he didn't get his leaving certificate because his attitude was if it was hard and he couldn't do it, he wouldn't try. So he stopped, and he never got a leaving certificate. And then he applied for the School of Art in Vienna, but he was rejected. So he applied for the architecture school in Vienna, and then they said that they wouldn't take him without a leaving certificate. And of course he didn't have one. So he lied to his mum and walked around Vienna for a lot of years and telling his mum he was at university there, but he never ever went. So, it was well hidden there. But there's a factory, isn't there? The third camp that we saw on the way. And that did business with places like Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite, and businesses like that. And the factory's still not changed its name. It's still exactly the same factory, and it still functions today, doesn't it? And Lucasade and places like that all did business with it. And that was involved in the Holocaust. So, and that was one of the places they got sent to work if they got taken to go to a labour camp.
Why is Auschwitz better known than Birkenau, even if Birkenau was bigger?
I think it's because when you say the Holocaust, people automatically think of Auschwitz because that's where people died, and it's the idea that because
the biggest one.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The biggest well known.
Yeah.
They always assume that Auschwitz is Birkenau.
So they were working together.
Auschwitz, Birkenau. Everyone assumes that Auschwitz is the death camp as well.
No.
But it's the biggest and well known one.
And a lot of people, even though they arrived at Birkenau, every person who went there arrived at Birkenau, didn't they? Because that's where the train lines led. So everybody crossed Birkenau in one way or another. But Auschwitz is definitely the more well-known one. I think Holocaust survivors as well, and hear them talk more about Auschwitz, don't they?
So when you go there, can you just go into the camp? Or is there kind of, have you to buy a ticket or?
Well, we're not actually sure how that works if we just walked in with our guide, but you can go in yourself and have a guide, I think. Or you can just go walk around on your own without one.
Yeah, get supplied with a headset, don't you? So you can, if don't have a specific guide, you can hear a guide talking you through, and they have guides speaking different languages, don't they?
Yeah.
So if you're German or if you're Polish or whatever nationality and language you speak, there's a guide that can help talk you through it, isn't there? But we had a guide, didn't we? But I think it's more real when you have a guide, isn't it? Because he knows everything. But there are certain areas you can't go into, aren't there, that were locked and that you're not allowed to go into.
Places that are locked in summer that are open in winter.
Yeah.
It just depends on the climate to whether they open or not.
But we were quite shocked because people take stag parties there, don't they?
Yeah.
And I just think it's quite surreal that people would go there, you know, and
I mean, that shows the dehumanisation going on.
yeah.
Just like in actual like Krakow, people go there for a stag party and they'll be like, oh, we just go to Auschwitz in a day. That's wrong.
It's really busy as well, isn't it? And so many people around. It's just mad. But even with 200 of us there, you look round and it's still, you know, there's areas where there's nobody, isn't there?
Still massive.
Yeah. And if you think there's easily 10,000 people walking around at a time, easily, yet it's still absolutely huge, and you rarely bump into people unless you're actually inside in one of the buildings. You don't really see anybody.
Shows every day.
Yeah. The rooms are still at the left from there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know any film in relation to this, like that one Otto Frank found it?
And there are a lot of books and films around, aren't there? Like, I've read Ruth Barnett and The Holocaust Survivor Archive. But there are a lot of survivors have wrote books. Ruth Barnett is a person with no nationality. I know that one. But that's because she didn't actually go to the death camp. She was adopted by 5 different families and she moved around everywhere and she was hidden so she didn't have to go. So there are a lot of films